Before I had any money, I used to go to the Rolls-Royce dealers and sit in the cars and smell the leather. Practice success before you're successful. Self-esteem is the key to high performance. Money's not the only thing in life, but it's the only thing anybody keeps track of. You can't have a dream come true unless you have a dream. It's not work if you love what you're doing. But does that look like your group? No. If you left it to engineers, no car would ever come off the assembly line. Focus on the few, not the many. And most of you don't believe passionately in what you're doing. What gets measured gets accomplished. You just gotta do it. But I'm high on life. I always have been high on life. When they look in the mirror, Brian, they don't like what they see. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. I had no money to begin with, $820. First 10 years of my starting CNN, I slept on my couch. I didn't have an apartment. Bill Gates slept in the office. Steve Jobs slept in the office. And I can go down a whole list. Now these are super successful, mega wealthy guys. I slept in my office. Not everybody's willing to make that sacrifice. But it's not the only thing. But even if you don't sleep in your office, if you want to send your kids to a better school, if you want to be able to take care of your mother when she gets dementia, if you want to, this all takes money. My children aren't getting any of my money when I die.
Very Warren Buffett.
Okay. 2 of my kids are cool with it. One of them's not so cool with it. But I'm not going to, I think Andrew Carnegie, by the way, Andrew Carnegie, arguably the richest, most successful entrepreneur of all time, he said the best thing that you can have for a child is him to be born into poverty. And I agree. Practice within when you're without. Practice being successful. How many people listening to this today practice being successful today?
What does it mean to practice being successful?
Okay. Through affirmations, through going to the Rolls-Royce dealer, maybe Lamborghini, maybe something else. Right. In my particular case, it was Rolls-Royce. And within a year of me going to the Rolls-Royce dealer, I had a Rolls. Within 19 months of me dreaming and adding it to my goals, a castle on an island, I own Guthrie Castle.
So how can people practice being successful? Affirmations, visualize, go shop for these things.
Go to stores you can't afford. Go hire lawyers you can't afford. Lawyers will meet with anybody. Accountants will meet with anybody. Go to the big 4 accountants with a business idea. The first couple meetings are for free. Jettison probably a lot of the people you'll hang around with. If you have poor public speaking skills, join Toastmasters, join improv. Do these. If you went to a good school and you're not successful, go to the alumni deals. Okay? I didn't go to a good school. I'm a perfect living example that a lot of trouble as a kid, working class background, my parents, went to just a mediocre university that I flunked out of 3 times before I finally graduated with honors, and had no money to begin with, $820. There's no money, but $820. So it's all possible. I devoted myself to feeling successful. I was wearing suits like this before I could afford them.
If you could pick up the phone and make a phone call to the 20-year-old Dan Pena, what advice would you give that young man?
It's the same advice that I give and the best advice that I got. Just do it. Most people procrastinate because they're unsure, so just do it. Just imagine you drove your car through life with the emergency brake on. It's bad for the transmission, it's bad for the tires, it's bad for the universal, it's bad for everything. Then you take, oh geez, the emergency brake's on. Then you release the brake. What happens? Whew, surge ahead, right? Most of us go through life with our emergency brakes on. And most of us keep the emergency brake on because we want a reason not to test ourselves. Follow your dream and don't listen to conventional wisdom, no matter what they say, because conventional wisdom is almost always wrong. Almost always wrong. Just remember, dress British and think Yiddish.